every time I log into social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, I'm always seeing motivational videos, people speaking about locking in and getting to the next level. And I see so many people in the comments reposting it, commenting saying, yo, I need to lock in, or this is my sign, I need to lock in. And even in a lot of my videos, you know, I speak a lot of motivation and stuff like that. And people are always in the comments saying, thank you, bro, you helped me lock in. But today I want to talk about what it takes to really lock in life. See, people hear productivity and they think that they need to do more. They need to wake up earlier. They need to do all these things, right? But in reality, the way that your timeline and your schedule and your routine works, it just has to work for you. Some people are night owls and they stay up all night and they can lock in and get work done, and that's their time to go to the gym. That's their time to get work done. Some people are early birds like myself, you know, and they wake up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. sometimes, you know, and do what they need to do to, you know, get to the next level, whether that's locking in, working out, running. And I'm here to say that obviously a structured routine is necessary, but it's not always about doing more. A lot of people think being productive is about doing more. It's really about doing less, having to do less, and still getting done what you need to get done while doing less work. I remember for a long time in my life, I used to watch a lot of these motivational videos. I still do. There is some people I still watch, but it was a time in my life where I was watching these videos every day, but I wasn't doing what I need to do to get to the next level. I would wake up every single morning and I would put on a sermon or, you know, a motivational speaker telling me lock in, do what I need to do, trust in God. And I'm listening to these things every morning and I'm getting the dopamine, you know. As soon as I get done listening to it, I get the quick dopamine, feeling like I went to church or feeling like I actually did something for the day. But in reality, once I left the video and once the time was up, after I watched that video, I wasn't really applying any of that to life. I wasn't really locking in. I was letting reality hit me, debt, bills, crazy stuff, life stressors, and these are things that distract us. These are things that are supposed to be regular things in life, but we get so distracted with social media, life stressors, responsibilities, goals, and we don't know what to put our time into. A lot of people think that they're locking in, but they'll only put a little bit of time into what they need to put time into. And I'm here today to give you guys a solution that took me from broke to doing really well in life, you know. And I'm not saying this to brag, I'm saying this to educate and to motivate, because I remember once upon a time when I was watching these videos, going through a whole bunch of these and just seeing the same old, you know, lock in, lock in, lock in. Everybody's telling you to lock in, but nobody wants to tell you how to do it. Nobody wants to give you the steps. Nobody wants to give you the blueprint of how to actually change your life. They just want to tell you, oh, my life's better than yours. Get like me. And they want you to pay them to teach you that. I want to teach you guys for free right now for the free 99. I'm not trying to charge nothing. All I need is your guys' eyes to the end of the video so I can break down this step-by-step process that took me from, you know, kind of just meditating and elevating. What took me from, you know, just being relaxed in life to turning up my life. When I was at the brokest point in my life, one of my main problems that I had is I was constantly trying to find solutions to making more money or trying to find solutions to getting closer to my goals. And in reality, those solutions in my head would be just to add. I would already have a busy day of working a job and trying to run a business and do all these different things at once. And in reality, every single thing I thought that I needed to do to improve my life seemed like something I had to add to my plate every day. Like, okay, I need to wake up even earlier, or I need to do even more work, or I need to do even more repetitions of this to figure out how to get it right. Sometimes that is realistic. Sometimes you do need to make an adjustment. Sometimes you do need to wake up earlier, but it's not always about adding more and doing more. Sometimes it's about restructuring, reprioritizing what's important to you and figuring out what can you do less of, because time is the most valuable thing. Once you understand that time is the most valuable thing, you'll stop selling it for a lot of different things. See, we sell our time in all different places, and I'm not just talking about a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5, you make an offer, you make a deal with your employer that I will give you this amount of time in exchange for this amount of money. I will give you 40 hours per week, every single week, full time, for $40,000 per year. I will give you 80 hours a week, every single week, for $80,000 a year. These are offers that you're giving to your job and to your employer, and we're constantly making deals and offers of our time. Even with social media is free, right? It's free, but it's not. It's very, very time consuming. Why do you think these creators get paid off of views and watch hours and all these different things? It's because people are consuming their content. People are trading their time for that type of content and engaging with that. So understanding that everything in life is traded with time, and anything aligning with money in life is traded with time. The more time you have, the more time you have to make more money. The more time you have to work towards your goal. So whether your goal is to just lock in for the sake of making more money, or whether your goal is to lock in just for the sake of reaching a goal, understanding that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So all of these things work the same. All of these things go hand in hand together. These principles that I'm giving you in life are principles that people have been using since forever. You know, any real entrepreneur that you look at, entrepreneurship is so easy nowadays to where anybody can just start up this little online business, or anybody can pay this little fee to get this course and figure out how to get this skill. But back in the day, it was hard. You got to think, in the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, how were these people doing what they needed to do to get their business to the next level? How were they even getting six figures back then? Even $100,000 back in the 60s was way different than it is now. So understanding that the work that they had to put in to get that all came down to these same principles that I'm saying today. And if they work back then, they definitely work now. The thing is, now we have even more things that we can put into place, more technology, more systems to really make everything easier for us. So when I'm speaking on social media, I'm not just speaking to one group of people. I'm not just speaking to entrepreneurs. I'm speaking to anybody who wants to make a change in their life, anybody who wants to reach any type of goal, anybody who wants to touch any type of money, or anybody who wants to provide a better quality of life for them and the people around them. Those are the people I'm speaking to, because you guys have to understand, regardless of what your circumstances are, whether you work a job now, whether you're unemployed, whether you run a business, whether you got a business on the side, whether you in the military, it doesn't matter what you want to do in life. I'm going to give you guys the blueprint to succeed. And I need you guys to understand that all of these things are achievable for you guys. Having great health is achievable for you. Running a good business is achievable for you. Having good credit is achievable for you. Locking in on your goals and buying the things that you want in life to have the experience that you want to have in life is possible. But the most important thing to remember is keeping your heart in center, and keeping the only thing in value is God. How do you guys might have different disorders you might be diagnosed for, whether it's OCD, I have a bit of OCD, or anxiety, I have a bit of anxiety, or even ADHD for some people, and it's hard for you guys to lock in and focus. But in reality, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. So a lot of these things I'm going to go in over this video is things that I use to help me scale all three of my businesses, and things that I've used in life for success, even before I was an entrepreneur, even when I worked a 9 to 5 and I leveled up. I fast promoted when I was in the military, and I skipped up 3 ranks in my first 2 years. So I just want you guys to know that the recipe and the key to success is the same. It's just how you use that recipe and switch it up to the blueprint you need it for. And I want to familiarize you guys with the process, because just because in this video I'm going to be telling you guys how to do less and get more out of your time, that doesn't mean that that's always going to be the reality. You can't always start off with doing less. Sometimes you have to put in the work, you have to put in the overtime in the beginning to get things to where they need to go, but just understanding there's a more productive and efficient way of living life, and it's going to help you live your goals quicker. See, a lot of the goals that you set for your New Year's resolution, or whatever goals that you have on your whiteboard, your vision board, a lot of you guys aren't achieving those year and year again because all of these distractions and stressors in life pop up. And the reality of it is, you guys just add more and more to your plate without figuring out what can you do with what you have currently now to do less and have the same outcome. How can you do less work and make the same amount of money? How can you do less? How can you put in less time and make even more money? And once you start understanding these things in life, it unlocks a whole new reality for you guys. And I speak on abundance a lot. I'm not here to press you guys for money for the material aspect of it, or to try to convince you guys that you need to run it up and change your whole lifestyle. But I'm just saying, having a better quality of life, especially right now, what's going on in this economy, how expensive everything is, the stuff going on, it's about to get even crazier with the war and all of that. And I need you guys to understand that now is the time to build for yourself and to build for your family in the future, because we don't know what the future holds. So all we have right now is our present, our day-to-day time, and we cannot afford to be spending time every single place that life pulls us in. Sometimes you guys overstress and overprioritize things that are small in life. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. Even if you know these things, even if you know these key principles, this might be your wake-up call. This might be your sign to start locking in and figuring out how you can get towards your goal. Because why are we going into 2025 and you still haven't achieved things that you had on your list for even 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? It only takes a few months to stay down and really change stuff in your life. The framework I like to use for this is audit. And what I mean by audit is to take a look in your life, take a look at your day-to-day tasks, take a look at your day-to-day stressors, and figure out what takes up the most of your time and what takes up any of your time at all. And is that the best place to spend your time for that day? A lot of times we'll make excuses on why we need to do X, Y, and Z, but in reality, these are just time fillers that waste more and more time every single day. And before you know it, the day's over, the next day passes, the week passed, the months passed, and now you guys are weeks and months behind on goals that you should have hit a long time ago. And all that comes down to is auditing. You know, a lot of times we hear the analogy of young people wanting to party and be out and not being locked in and spending more time in the clubs than working on themselves or going to the gym or working on their business. And the reality of the situation is, that's a distraction. You need to audit that. If you go out and you're going out every single weekend, but you're still not where you want to be at, that's not in moderation. That's every single weekend. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people will look at that as, oh, well, it's just, I still need to have fun. I still need to live. Okay, yeah, that's true if you don't want to lock in. If that's the mindset you have, then this isn't the video for you, because I'm trying to reach the people today that are tired of being in the same place. I'm trying to reach the people today that want to make a change for themselves and their family and everyone else after them, and is willing to put in the work now, is willing to put in the sacrifice now. Not everything's gonna be about fun. Not everything's gonna be about experience. I'm all for fun and experiences. I love going out to do stuff. I love spending money. I love going on vacations, but when it's not time, it's not time. It doesn't matter if you feel like you need a break. It doesn't matter if you feel like you've been working and working and working. Trust in God, pray to God, make sure you're living your God-given purpose, and find a good way to delegate the stressors in your life and live a better quality of life. If you stay down for a couple years and lock in, especially for a couple months even, you're going to see everything elevate and change for you. And now you're going to be living a way more peaceful life. The next step I'm going to say is to automate. And this goes to anybody in life. This doesn't just apply to business. See, automation applies to life, putting things in place to make your life easier. For example, now that I am blessed to be able to be in a better position, and now that I understand that certain things aren't worth my time, I don't clean my house anymore. I have a whole 4-bedroom house to myself, just me, my girl, and my dog, and I don't have time to clean this house. It would take me 2 hours, 3 hours up and down to properly clean this house. And I still have businesses that I'm working on and building. Yes, my businesses have went far, but I'm still not where I want to be yet. So I'm still going to lock in. I'm not going to waste 3 hours, even if it's one day a week to clean my house, because I understand that 3 hours can be made making me more money. That 3 hours can be put into making a new offer in my credit repair program, or getting more leads, or getting more clients, or making my software better. I could better spend my time there, and it might make me money later, even if it's not instantly right now. But I'd rather spend that money and pay my cleaning lady every single week to eliminate that task from me, because cleaning, that's something that takes up time. That's something that stresses me out. That's something that drains my energy. After I clean, I don't feel like doing nothing. I'm not trying to get on the computer after I clean. So that's just an example, right? I'm not saying that all y'all got to go hire cleaning ladies, but what I'm saying is that's an example of automating something in your life, something that's taken away from your personal goals, something that's taken away from your business. And not everything that you automate has to cost money. Sometimes it's simple as just having the right systems in place. Even in life, using your reminders. I use my reminders on my phone like crazy. Now that I understand that these things make me more efficient, they make me stay on a schedule, they make me not forget things, it helps me become more efficient with my time. And now that I'm more efficient with my time, I want to buy back some of my time. And some of y'all need to start treating y'all time like the stock market. Some of y'all don't know how to trade stocks, but understand all trading stocks is putting in money into a business that you know is going to go up and is going to make you money back. Treat your time the same way. You're not going to put your money into a stock if you're like, yeah, this probably is going to make me lose some money, and it's not looking too promising. You probably ain't going to put your money there, so why put your time there, if that makes sense? You would put your money into the stock that's showing you promising returns. You would put your money in the stock that you've seen people make money off of already, because you want to leave successful. You want to successfully make money. The whole goal of trading stocks is to make money. So you want to successfully make money. So if you want to successfully achieve your goals, and whether making money is or isn't one of those goals, all you have to understand is you have to treat your time like stocks. You have to invest it in where it's going to make you the best return on your investment. Sometimes return on your investment isn't direct money. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes you have to put your time in things that are going to save you time in the future. Sometimes you have to put your time into things that are going to save you stress in the future. So you have to understand how to prioritize and audit the things around in your life and the tasks in your life, and figure out what can you do to make your life simpler and happier and healthier. That's the most important thing. When you start buying back a lot of your time, it makes life a lot easier for you. It makes you feel like you have a lot more time than you do, and you don't feel drowned in responsibilities and drowned in a lot of tedious tasks and stuff that you don't really need to be spending your time doing. God forbid, anybody's last day could be tomorrow. So why would you want to spend every day on this earth doing a whole bunch of tedious, strenuous tasks, when all you have to do is take a step back to audit, take a step back to automate? And then the next one I'm going to say is allocate. Block out the noise, block out the distractions. Once you audit and you know what's not worth your time anymore, don't spend any time there. If you have a group of friends and all they worried about is partying and nothing in their life is directional, love them from a distance, but cut them off. Cut them out your day-to-day. Cut them out your weekend, because those people and that energy is going to drain you and keep you down. As you're trying to work on your goals, and once you automate things, there's still going to be things that you're going to have to do on your own. But the thing is, now you have less things to do, and now you can put your all in on those few tasks that you do have, so you don't have time for distractions. Anything that's distraction has to get cut out, whether it's a friend, whether it's family, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a habit. Some of y'all got a lot of habits, drinking, smoking. If these are things that are holding you back, let go. You guys have to understand that all of these things play a part in your productivity and where you spend your time in life. If you spend all your time drunk, how are you going to be productive? A lot of y'all look at your to-do list and you just look at things in life that are making you busier, but I look at my to-do list and I see things that are going to make me more successful, things that are going to make me richer, because I'm putting my to-do list structured around that. I'm making sure everything on my to-do list is a proper strategy of my time. I use the analogy often in my videos about being a drain or a fountain, and what I mean by that is pouring into something or taking away from everything. And you guys have to understand, in life, when it comes to productivity, everything and everyone around you is either a drain or a fountain. Either they're pouring into you more than they're taking away from you, or they're taking away from you more than they're pouring into you. And what you have to understand is, a lot of people and things in this world are energy vampires. They just attach to you and suck energy out of you, whether it's your time, whether it's your actual emotional energy, whether it's your physical energy. A lot of these things around you are just taking your time. I see it time and time again with young guys. Like, a lot of y'all deal with multiple women, and then you wonder why you can't lock in, why you feel broke, and why you feel low vibrational. Look at the women that you're spending your time with. Look at the women that you're laying down with, and understand that they're draining your energy, both physically and spiritually and mentally and emotionally. So you guys need to stop getting yourself around those environments. You guys need to avoid temptation. That's the whole part of auditing, figuring out what's important in your life. Avoid temptation, whether it's temptation to party, whether it's temptation to do drugs, whether it's temptation to drink alcohol, whether it's temptation to lay down with multiple individuals. These are things that the enemy puts as roadblocks in life, and a lot of you guys are falling for the distraction. It's the same thing as the Adam and Eve story, right? It happened with the woman first, with Eve. She was deceived by the serpent to go eat fruit from the forbidden tree, even though she was in a whole garden of abundance. And when you think about that, it's crazy that she had everything she needed in front of her, and she had to just go get that one thing that she didn't need to get. You guys do that often with things in life. You guys will know you have all of these opportunities available to you, and you know that going in this one direction is not going to serve you any purpose and is going to slow you down, but you just feed into the temptation. You let the enemy dress it up and put a gold tie and some diamonds on it, and now you guys think that that's the direction you need to go. That's the path that you need to go in life, and you're wasting time. You're chipping away at your time. It doesn't matter how young you are. You could be 16, 15, 17, 18, 27, 37, 47, 57. It really doesn't matter. If you're not where you want to be in life, now's your time to lock in. Now's your time to change. Now is your time to automate, and allocate everything in your life and start living a better quality of life, because you deserve that. You deserve abundance. And the most important thing is, once you get that, once you reach that level, and even in the process of reaching that level, even before you reach that level, give all grace and glory to God, because He's going to direct you in the path that you need to go. Y'all stay blessed.